Hello, hello. It has been such a long time since I've been on here, and I have missed making videos and being here with you guys, but life has been a whole crazy adventure. Those who follow those Perms channel, you probably know some of what's been going on, but we had baby number 4. Perry was born in November, and that was after kind of a crazy set of morning sickness of the pregnancy that went right into a move to the United States, that went into looking for work, and then getting kids settled in school and having a baby. So it was just kind of a whirlwind. And then she came, and right after the holidays we moved again. And so this is the first time I'm showing you this place that we are, our new place here in Nevada. We are in Las Vegas. So we are on lockdown because we really want to help stop the spread of this virus. And Justin's work is definitely affected. He right now does solar, door-to-door solar sales. And so it's impossible nearly for him to be doing what he wants to be doing and still being responsible. So he is at home, he is with the kids, and that is why I am here to cook with you guys. And the dish I'm gonna make is a Japanese dish called Okonomiyaki. And it is a dish that was kind of the poor people's food in Japan long ago, and now has become quite a delicacy. And so, yeah, but I'm going to be doing it in a very simple version with the things I have around the house, because we're trying not to go to the grocery store very often. We're trying to conserve the things we have, be wise with how we're eating, because we just don't know, you know, what's ahead of us for right now. With laws that will keep us at home, or with Justin's work situation, etc. But life is good. We are very happy. I am loving this opportunity to have Justin home and be with us. So I'm just trying to soak it up and be grateful for what we have. So, Okonomiyaki today. We need all-purpose flour, which this is what this says, but it actually is full of brown rice flour. And I have never made okonomiyaki with this flour before. So, but we're gonna give it a try because that was the flour that I was able to get at the store. So, brown rice flour. So you need 1 cup of flour. If you have all-purpose, that's actually what this I typically use. Then we need just a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, which this is actually sugar, like it says on there. So about a 1/4 teaspoon, which I honestly have not, since coming back to the US, bought any measuring things other than, this is my only 1 cup measuring cup. So I measure everything in that, or I eyeball it. So, woo! This is baking powder that I bought in bulk. So I'm putting about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder in here. And the final dry ingredient is salt, which I don't think we'll run out of this during this quarantine. Maybe. No, I'm just joking. Goodness gracious, I'm being a noisy cook. A 1/4 teaspoon in the bowl. These are the dry ingredients that I'm going to sift, kind of mix together. And pretty simple. Can you see why this is the food of poor people? Okay. One ingredient that, now that we're moving on to the wet ingredients, that I'm a little bit worried you may not have is something called dashi, which a million price tags on it, called Hondashi, Hondashi, Hondashi. So this is just pretty much fish stock, so, or like fish bouillon. So if you have like better than bouillon or chicken bouillon cubes or beef bouillon, that would work well. It's just pretty much the same. I mean, so this is fish bouillon, but then that's what I am going to use since I have some still, but there's lots of other options for that. So now that we move on to the wet ingredients, let's put our dry ingredients aside for a moment. Okay, so to prepare our stock, we need 3/4 cup of stock. And typically the way dashi works is about 1 teaspoon of this powder, or these, what are they? Little flakes, little things. About 1 teaspoon to 1 cup. So we're gonna do about 3/4 teaspoon to 3/4 cup of hot water, and then just let it dissolve in here so we're ready to move on. So my nifty cup. I have 3/4 cup hot water. Putting that in. We'll just use this same spoon, and we'll do 3/4 teaspoon of dashi, and we put it in and mix it up till it dissolves, like a pretty typical stock bouillon. Okay, so once this is all dissolved, then we're gonna add this to our flour mixture, and I think we're set. I don't see any pieces anymore in there. Okay, and then we'll mix this in. Now, ideally, we would also have this awesome stuff called nagaimo or yamaimo, but I don't have it, and it's kind of a harder ingredient to find, so we're just gonna stick with the basics. All right, so here is kind of like a paste right now. We're gonna add 4 eggs. Move this back a little, you can see it better too. 3. Okay, and the eggs. The last egg. Okay, so I do know that eggs in some places are really hard to come by, so I sure hope you have eggs on hand. But that is one thing that we were able to secure a lot of. We are like pretty much out of meats, refrigerated meats or freezer meats, unfortunately. But we do have a lot of eggs, so we are using eggs quite a bit. Okay, so as you can see, it's becoming kind of like a thick, almost like pancake batter. And that is really what this is, pretty much. It's a savory pancake with vegetables and, yeah, a lot of egg. Okay, so I'm gonna keep mixing this up till it's nice and smooth. All right, home stretch. So this is well mixed. I put away some of the dry ingredients. I am being a good Hawaii girl, and I am using Spam because, like I told you, we're almost out of meat. So I have salmon, which I didn't think would work great in here, and some deli meat. I think that's, and we have like one huge, like kind of like a roast for a crock pot. That's all the meat we have other than canned tuna and canned Spam. So I thought Spam would work best. I usually would make it more with shrimp or like a thin pork, like a bacon or some kind of pork would work really well, and that's more typical, but we're gonna use some Spam. So I have my Spam, my head of cabbage, and my green onions, which I do know sometimes I have not added green onions to the mix, and instead I've just topped with it, but I want a little more flavoring in this mix, so I'm gonna put green onions in it, and we can also put fresh ones on top if we want to. So then I just start to slice down, or I guess cut, because we want to have it into like cubes of the cabbage. And then this gets mixed in, all of this, cubed up, diced up, gets mixed into this batter, and it's ready to cook. So we want to try to get this whole head of cabbage in, ideally. So we're just going to throw in, see the sized pieces of cabbage into there, and hope I got this. I have this mini cutting board. If you can't tell, it's overflowing, but it works. This is one of my things that I've stuck to, where I really want to be more of a minimalist in things I have. Holy smokes, guys. Is this gonna fit? No way. Time to transfer into a larger bowl and cut up this cabbage, and then we'll hop back on. But actually, before I do that, I wanted to also let you know one other big thing I've been working on, which is another reason why I haven't been on this channel, and that is I have a podcast with my sisters. It is a motherhood focused podcast for mothers and women, and I love doing it. It's so awesome. We don't tell you, like, it's not one of those like how to be a good mom necessarily kind of gives you tips podcasts, but more of let's hear each other's stories, let's enjoy chatting, let's just feel like girlfriends talking at the park while your kids are having a play date or out for a lunch, you know, just to catch up. That's kind of the gist of it. And it is called Booster Chair Experts. I will put the link here. Check it out, support us. We're still growing. I mean, we're early on. We started back in November, right before baby came. And thanks to my sisters and all of their amazing skills, and one of my sisters does all the editing. I've been able to keep that up even though I haven't been able to get back on here doing this with you guys. So check it out. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. I mean, we're at all the main podcast venues. So yes, but like I told you, I will be back in a minute with chopped cabbage and a bowl that can fit it all. All right, so I actually changed my mind. I only used maybe a little more than a half of a head of cabbage for two reasons. One is we don't have a whole ton of fresh vegetables right now, and I feel like we can conserve because now I'm in a massive bowl. But when I'm mixing up the liquid, maybe because I don't have yamaimo, it's a potato that you grind that turns into kind of almost like a slime texture. As another part of the batter, I don't have it. I feel like it's gonna get too dry if I add more. So it still definitely has more cabbage, but as it cooks down, I think there's still enough batter to hold it all together. So now I'm gonna add in one bunch of, what are these called? Green onions is what they're called. So I'm gonna slice these down pretty fine. I mean, I definitely don't want to have like huge chunks of uncooked vegetable. So depending on how long you're planning to cook it for, it's probably smart to have your vegetables in sizes that will cook quickly. So I'm going to, almost done with this. Okay, now dump these suckers in the bowl. And then the last step, I'm gonna mix right into my batter my Spam. So there may be some of you who haven't eaten Spam ever before. This is what this lovely stuff looks like when you pop it open. But honestly though, if you eat a hot dog, you're practically eating Spam. So here it is, little block of Spam, and I'm going to slice it down first into slices that are about this thick. And then I'm eventually going to turn them into cubes though, so that they just mix nicely into my batter. Now, there are, I think, quite a few of us who may have canned meats on hand, so this really would be a great place where you can jazz up a little bit of canned meat and make it taste better. So maybe you have canned chicken or, I don't know, other canned stuff. I think tuna might be a little funky because I do have tuna and I've chosen against it. So I'm just here are my cubes. Putting my cubes in to my batter. Let's do this stack. And I already have heating up my griddle behind me. So shout out to a wonderful woman named Carolyn. When we moved back to the US, we came with just suitcases and a couple of boxes. We moved back to the US with even less than we moved to Mexico with, which we didn't come with very much. So I definitely didn't have any kitchen items. So my sister, who lives in Utah, where we first were, she gave us quite a few things to use, and some of those things we've kept, like this awesome cutting board. This is thanks to her. But then also Carolyn heard that we were pretty, sorry, I'm not even talking to you, huh? Carolyn told us heard that we were pretty low on supplies for cooking and things. So she gave us this griddle, which has been a lifesaver. So here it is. Can you guys see my mixture? There it is. That's a better view. It actually really does smell super nice and fresh. Whenever you put green onions, those things are like magic. It turns anything into feeling way more fresh and gourmet. Okay, so here's our mixture, guys. And now it is time to cook it up. So my griddle has been on like a medium heat for the last 5 minutes or so. And so then I'm going to add a little bit of oil, which it doesn't need it for, this is a nice non-stick surface, but as far as some flavor in this, I think it'll be nice to have a little bit of oil and grease in it. Because grease tastes good. Okay, let me switch over to a utensil, or like a ladle style utensil. And let's make our first savory pancake, or in Japanese it's called Okonomiyaki. Okay. All right, it's cooking. I will show you it midway in just a minute, so I'll be right back. It's already starting to smell really actually impressively good. I hope it tastes just as good as it smells. Because yeah, it smells great. Now, I believe it's ready to flip. Man, here's the moment of truth. Because I see it browned on the bottom. Oh, there it is. Looks pretty good, huh? Okay, let's close this sucker up. I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit because I definitely want that cabbage to not be like soggy, but cook through well. And I have a hair in my face. So, turning it down to a little bit lower, maybe like a medium-low heat, because I think it'll brown plenty quickly, and let that cook, and then I'll show you how to top it and eat it. Okay, let's eat. It is ready, I hope, I believe. Doesn't it look great? Okay, uh-oh, fell apart a little on me, but that's okay. All right, so here is, we're gonna like put it back together in its circular shape. There's the okonomiyaki. It smells amazing. Okay, so now this is what you top it with. There's something called okonomi sauce, like they really have it at pretty much any Asian store, but if you're trying to stay at home and use what you have, you can make a version of this sauce as long as you have oyster sauce, Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, and sugar. So I think you might have, those are pretty common-ish ingredients to have at home. I will put all the amounts right there so you know how to make your homemade sauce. But if not, I mean, this is just an easier way. Buy your sauce. So we have our sauce, and I'm going to drizzle it on. Let's see how quickly it comes out of here. Okay, it's not too fast. Oh, not fast at all. Kind of in strips back and forth. Okay. And then Japanese style mayonnaise, Kewpie. It comes in this little bag thing from the stores. Regular mayo would work or nothing. I do have one that's already open. Hopefully there's enough in here to make this guy work. Oh, and a bunch of ketchup in the lid, or mayo in the lid. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so we're stripped right there. Okay, so you have your mayo, and then this is how you make it beautiful. Beautiful, fancy. You grab your chopsticks, or whatever, fork, and you're gonna make little strips, pull it through. Look at that, you make a restaurant style look. Ta-da! Okay, and then I am going to top my dish with fish flakes. You could be putting green onions on right now as well. If you happen to have any kind of like Asian pickles, like you could do a kimchi on this, that would be super good. Japanese have several kinds of different kinds of ginger, pickled ginger. It would be amazing. So you're gonna top it with whatever you want to and dig in. These are okonomiyaki, and this is Spam for quarantined coronavirus time. And honestly, guys, it is really, really good. I recommend it. So I can't promise how often I'll be on this channel. I'm gonna try to do it a lot more. With Justin's support, we can make it work. Without his support, probably a little bit crazy, but I really, really love cooking with you guys, and I will try to be back here more often. Thanks so much for all your support. See you around sooner than later. Bye-bye.